Hello,
Hello
we're back again.
for part 2 of our journey through Israel, our Israel Reise.
Unsere Israel-Reise.
Unsere Israel Reise.
Yeah.
This is only one day, so it's a bit shorter, but you will see some of Masada.
And in Gedi.
And we went to the
Dead Sea.
Yeah, so first we were off to Masada when we saw some camels, but this is us on the gondola on the way up.
Because it was too warm to walk up, so they closed the path because people die walking up.
Yeah, they had this thing called the snake path, which
Was only 45 minutes. And my dad went up a few years ago, and
Yeah.
it was not too difficult, but because too many people died in the recent past, they said if it's too hot, and it was 41 degrees, I think, again.
Yeah, it was a stupid hot day.
So we didn't walk up, we took the gondola, and yeah.
But quickly before we look at the lines, Masada was a Roman fort. They're the Romans, aren't they? Yeah, Roman fort on the top of a tabletop mountain.
It was like the best view.
Yeah, insane view, and it was undefeatable when the Romans occupied it, but they didn't need it anymore, and they neglected it, and some Jewish outlaws kind of occupied it, and that led to a legend that the Jewish people love. But yeah,
Not love. It has a big,
or it has an impact on their
Yeah.
history.
because
And-
it was not the best thing.
No.
But we'll get to that in a bit.
But yeah, the impenetrable fort, spoiler alert, got penetrated by the Romans. Anyway, these are the original ruins, and you saw some black lines on the walls, and those black lines are actually a line of showing anything below that line is actually the original constructions that the Romans built.
And there were some pretty cool, cool
Views?
views, and it looked really good. The original part, yeah. And it was a palace from Herod again. He loved to live quite luxury, and it was not too far away from Jerusalem, so he could reign the country even from that palace. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much his view from his palace.
It was on the
Edge.
so he had a good view onto the Dead Sea and everything around it. So if a visitor would arrive, he would knew the day before, because they had to walk up with everything. And yeah.
But these are some photos of his palace, or what's left of it. Clearly those paintings are not original, but it gives you an idea of what he was living in.
I would like to live there too.
Just walking around this old fortress, I just thought it would be the most epic spot for a mega game of paintball or airsoft or something. Be sick. You can see in the background of this cool bird flying video this weird square on the ground. And what was that?
It was one of the places where
The legions,
Yeah.
Roman legions.
the legions, because when they entered the fort,
Yeah.
they had, I think it was 12 legions
Something like
around
that.
it. And on one picture you saw a big wall going up where they entered it through.
Yeah.
And you might wonder how the Romans could build this big
Ramp.
ramp.
Yeah.
They did it with Israel with
Slaves, Israeli slaves.
Yeah, so the people on the fort didn't throw rocks and other things at them.
Right, yeah.
Because they didn't want to hurt their own peoples. And the story of it is that these people living up there, they killed themselves. It was 45 people left, I think.
Yeah.
No, even more.
I can't remember. 45 men or something like that, and their families.
Yeah, so it was a really big suicide.
Yeah, mass suicide.
Yeah, mass suicide. And
yeah.
It was like a really dramatic story, and people from Israel and people come there at least 2 or 3 times within their school years.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Okay.
Because it had such a big impact on the whole Jewish and Israeli people.
Yeah. So I read somewhere as well that Masada is a kind of symbol of freedom in the Jewish culture, because that battle that went down where the Romans tried to take back the fort from the Jewish rebels there, the Jewish rebels decided that rather than being captured and falling slave to the Romans, they would rather die. Yeah, so they drew sticks and they went off and killed everyone.
Yeah. The only people there, I think it was a woman or 2 women and 3 kids left because this husband couldn't kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting approach on what freedom is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
The next stop was
Gedi. And Gedi is in the Bible.
Yeah, and it's an oasis.
Oh, it's an oasis, yes.
And it's really pretty.
I've got a song stuck in my head right now that I can't even think how it goes, but all I'm thinking is oasis. But yes, the Engedi Oasis is where David hid out when he was hiding from Saul.
Yeah. And Saul had to go and pee or poo.
Yeah, in 1 Samuel 24, if you want to look it up, the story about David having the opportunity to kill Saul while he was taking a poop.
Number 2.
Number 2s or number 1s. Is it that specific in the Bible?
I don't know. Anyway, so he cut off this part of his
robe.
Yeah.
Like a stringy thing.
Yes. Yeah, it was quite interesting because we learned the Orthodox Jewish people wear these funny looking robes around them, or at least it looks funny to me. And we learned that this is what
Saul
was wearing. It goes back to the original, not original, the
OGs.
The olden days from the desert, from the holy people going into the
holy place,
the holy tent.
Yeah, holy tent place.
Stiftshütte in Deutsch.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't go any further to any other waterfalls or any more of the oasis because it is rainy season, and that means in the desert there is a high chance of landslide because the water gets into the dry rocks and it causes it to lose its structure, and it falls down and it can damage quite a lot of the footpaths when people are there or when people are not. So there is quite a high chance of being injured. So unfortunately today, this is all we get to see.
Hello!
So we are at the Dead Sea, and we may or may not have already tested to see if it's true that we can float, and
We're not sure.
we're still not sure. We need your opinion, so
first we need to lather up in Dead Sea mud because the minerals are good.
And that's how you do it here.
That's how you do it. And then we're going to go for a swim and wash it off and see if we really do float. Thoughts?
It's a good peeling. Really interesting.
Kom her.
Alles gut. Yeah, look, they're so dirty. You want to under your armpits?
Then, yeah.
Okay, I think this might be my first time going under her armpits.
Probably the last time as well.
It's an experience.
Okay, thank you. Am I done?
I think you're done. Okay,
So,
step 2, time to go for a
swim.
woo. Let's see how this goes.
Woo.
So the belief is that we will float. Don't you hate it when you've got an itchy spot? Don't scratch. So if we just lean back, what should happen?
We should float.
Okay, go for it.
1, 2, 3.
Woo! Can you put your hands up and your feet out?
Yeah. Okay, I can't stand here. I'll take you over.
I'm being pulled to rescue.
Okay, I can stand here.
My phone's not waterproof.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's that. It's legit. You float in the Dead Sea without having to paddle. Be careful with it. Whoa! Yep.
This was Israel part 2. We hope Ashton can upload the third part before Christmas. We'll see how busy he is. And it's really cool. For the third part, we go to Jerusalem for 3 or 4 days. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Do you want to do?
I'm wearing my onesie.
Do you want to do like the fade out to black bit, where you put your hand up to it?
No.
Oh, I do it then.